Herspiration Happy Hour. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Herspiration Happy Hour. How are you ladies doing today?
Great.
Wonderful.
Yeah, great.
So it is Wednesday. So, of course, on every Wednesday, what do? We give our WCWs a shout out, our women crushes of the week. And so let's start. Louisa, who are you crushing on this week?
I am crushing on Nakessa Lewis, which is she's an artist, a singer, and she just released a EP called Goddess. Oh, her voice is amazing. She has the most calming, beautiful voice in her music. On this EP, she said the music is kind of dark, but it's not like gothic dark, but it touches you. She actually used to be a journalistic photographer, and so she stopped doing that because she wanted to pursue her dreams in music, and so she's doing it. So her name is Nakessa Lewis, and you can follow her on Summer Shade Babe, SummerShadeBabe, all over the place. And I'm crushing on Nakessa.
All right. What about you, Louise or Cortina?
I am crushing on Shantae Tribbett, who is my Pastor Ty Tribbett's wife.
Oh,
and so she is so down to earth, and just her realness and her rawness, and how she really allows you to see the transformation that she has made, and how she keeps it real, and how she inspires, and how she motivates, and just her entire authenticity is the reason why I am crushing on her today. She's always so positive and always inspiring and always, will give you a listening ear. And so I just wanted to shout her out as my WCW. So that's who I'm crushing on today.
Okay. And so for me today, I am crushing on an author, being an author myself, and we had the pleasure of having this author on. I'm crushing on Miss Livy Zoe, who is the author of the book Mixed Business. And what I love about her is not only is she a phenomenal mom, but who has time, to just write multiple books at one time. That's an inspiration for me, considering I'm trying to start my second book and a third. So, I mean, if I could have half of her creativity and energy, I would just love it. So I'm crushing on Livy Zoe today, and shout out to her.
Woo, that's great. Oh, but you know what, ladies, we forgot to do our drink. So let me tell you all what that's okay. Look, it's okay.
We forgot because we've already drank it.
Yeah. And plus we were so excited to crush on our ladies, So what we were drinking on is called a sip of It's simply lemonade, sliced cucumbers, and Tito's vodka. And with ice. So you just combine all these ingredients in the shaker and shake it up and pour it in a glass over ice. The mocktail is called Summer in a Cup.
Okay.
So that's simply lemonade, sliced cucumbers, sliced lemons, strawberries, and peaches with ice. So you put all that in a cup and you pour the simply lemonade over it with ice and enjoy with the straw.
Okay. That sounds delicious. I'm gonna have to
refreshing. Oh,
I know. It's perfect. It's perfect for summer.
Yeah.
It's a summer drink.
Yeah. So I just
So like we are so off track today, apparently, throwing our drinks up first. But it's okay. So what's our conversation going to be about today, Louisa? Let's get us started.
The conversation is about the soul of music, how music can change the atmosphere, adjust your attitude, and give you life.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think and our guest, she's an artist, and she uses her music to inspire. She uses this influence she has where she's from to help upcoming artists. So I wanted to talk about, this topic because music has influenced us, whether we like it or not. It helps us deal with pain, or when we're happy, we want to dance, put on a certain song and you dance. And so my
Mm-hmm.
question to you all is there a certain song or like an anthem, or which way can you incorporate music in your life, and what did it do for you?
I have certain songs for certain things. If
I have playlists.
if I'm really missing my cousin, Floor Tree has a song called "Sometimes You Make Me Smile," and so I
Oh,
listen to that song, and because they're one of my favorite groups.
yeah,
I listen to that song, and when the Floors is when she just starts talking, and Marsha Ambrosius when they do the speaking part of that song,
Mm-hmm.
I get tearful all the
oh,
time. I'm always crying over songs.
it's okay.
Oh.
And so that's one for that. And I really like I think I brought this up before, Cameron J. I really
Yeah,
like his melody and his mellow, and I love Joe and Kim. So Joe
yeah,
Kim melody,
Mm-hmm.
uh I their CDs, or not even CDs. Okay, let me just not age myself. Not CDs, but when I play them on my iTunes, I can just really step away and go away. If I'm feeling like super angry or I'm pissed off about something, music can either amplify me
oh
or
yeah,
it can calm
Yeah.
me down. So
yeah,
if I'm getting ready, and it's so funny because I think a lot of people do this when they're getting ready to go, maybe to a club or go out,
yeah,
like some more hype music, and
yeah,
then
that's
if you're
true.
just going on a date, or you just want to be by
Yeah.
yourself, I just pour a glass of wine and some neo soul, and I'm just
Hmm.
by myself. I just zen out, zone out. I turn on music when I'm cooking. I listen to music when I'm cleaning. Music is
Mm-hmm.
a very big part of my life.
So mine too, for
Hmm.
various reasons. I think for me, it's not a particular song. I have playlists. I
Right.
have, I have one that's just my mood chill. I have one that has like a flame by it because that's my fire mix. And, so depending on my mood, I also have one that's called "You Feeling Me" with like wet marks, like the
Oh,
little drip
okay.
emoji.
Hmm.
So it depends on my mood. It would depend on like what playlist and what song needs to touch me. I will say that some of the music that I am like really like I play right now, like two particular songs that I'm really like feeling. They're not out yet and I can't disclose them. So
Okay.
it's kind of a painful place to be at. Like, when are y'all putting this out so I can throw it on my playlist instead of just feeding it from my email, because they are just like that bomb. And
Yeah.
they resonate so much with where I'm at right now. And not long ago we talked about how music just moves you in different ways,
Yeah.
and so there's two different ways that
Yeah.
songs move me in. So I mean, for that's what music is for me. And then I also share this story that when Jay and I first met, one of the things that we always did, well, he always did, was send me songs that made him think.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when I got a tattoo, I had his Instagram hook on me,
Hmm.
and with a music note, because
Oh.
that signified every time he would send me music. Now he sends me playlists, so that's kind of that's kind of nice too. But those are just the little things that just makes me drawn to music.
That's cool. That's cool. For
Mm-hmm.
me, music is my refuge.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, we used to have parties, and the house parties, and mainly with family or just our neighbors or whatever. And I can always get a song and remember an event. So when the Tootsie Roll came out, when the Butterfly came out, we had a party,
Oh
and I can
God.
just remember being down South Carolina in the yard, and everybody came. So music helps with memories.
Yeah.
And actually, with me, music takes me places. So it
Yeah.
depends on what I'm listening to, especially if it's love music, real smooth music. I like jazz. I love neo soul. I like rap too. And so it just depends on where I'm trying to go. So, and the funny thing you mentioned about Jay sending you music, because Wakanda does the same thing to me. Y'all remember that's his pseudo name, Wakanda.
You
And
said
so
Jason?
No,
Jay, you said Jay
Oh,
sends
Jay. I was
you.
like,
remember we
Jay,
named
No,
him.
Jay and I. Yeah. Say what?
Yeah.
We remember we
I say,
named him Wakanda.
yeah, y'all, my king's name is Wakanda. So he does, we do that too. You know, he started sending me music, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. So if a song, you know, I run across a song, or he'll run across a song, and we send it to each other. And so, it helps you say things that you don't know how to say. It puts into words what you don't know how to say. And music, just like I said, it's a refuge, just a safe place. And even if you don't feel right or you're feeling sad, you can use it to help calm you. Just like Cortina said. So it just depends. It just depends. Music is everything. Yeah.
Okay. So with, you know what, now I think it is the most appropriate time to hear the perspective of our guest today.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So for you all who are tuning in right now, we just had Dior Ashley Brown join us on our podcast. I'm telling you, all of us, first of all, want to thank you. You are dynamic, and we are excited to have you on. So tell everyone about yourself.
So my name is Dior Ashley Brown. I am an MC, actor, poet, host, event curator. I embrace the slash. As an artist, you have to. I mean, you have to embrace the slash in order to thrive, and also be able to evolve in this space. So, I became all those things, jumping right into them. But yeah, I'm an MC. They call me DC Dior, Uptown Ashley Brown, Dab, a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? And I love my community. I love DC. I can't wait to take this thing on the road. That was actually my plan before quarantine, and so it's still my plan. We just and I think it's going into effect even in quarantine. Very interestingly enough. Yeah.
Well, with our topic being, you know, the soul of music and how it changes the atmosphere, is there anything are you willing to share an experience or any particular songs that help you go through different moods, or when you're happy, when you're sad? Just how does music affect you?
Wow. Music affects me deeply. Like you said, that sometimes it takes you to a different place. Like I grew up on jazz, so you know, for jazz for me sometimes is like looking through a desert, because I'm a military brat too.
Okay.
So my father used to drive. Oh, you too? Yeah. Let them know. Let them know. They be hating on the Army brats, and we
I'm a Marine brat, but nonetheless.
Still, it's the same. That's right. So, you know, my father used to play jazz, and we'd be going through, you know, the desert and stuff. And that was like, it just set the scene. It was like the backdrop. And that's how he described it too. And it ended up really being kind of like the backdrop to an early part of my life. But, you know, it's crazy that I have this phrase, maintain the soul of music. Because I feel like music now has lost a lot of soul. And my great dear friend who passed, rest in power, Turk Gaines, he said to me, he was like, you know, the megahertz in music actually changed. So like in the 90s, we had a hertz level and vibration that was high and keeping us in that positive energy. And then like right here, and some of us still use it, but it has like that low vibrational feel. So we're actually being affected by the megahertz sometimes in the sound, or there's a darkness, you know, to the time that we're in. And I really think that Black people, everybody, but definitely Black people have to remind themselves and attach to that soul, to me, to stay resilient, to stay healthy, to stay grounded. You know, I don't know if you've noticed that when you listen to that soul music or stuff that really touches your spirit in a positive way, it grounds you. It gives you a center of being. You know what I'm saying? And it connects you with the earth. It connects you with your people. Yeah. There's love in the room. There's love in the space. So I think that needs to go unnoticed. So I listen to everything. You know, there's gospel music that brings me up. There's even like rock music that puts me in a positive energy. And honestly, I've been influenced by so much of that music, being an MC and diving into those circles. And that's the type of music I make. I want sisters who are on their grind to be inspired on their grind. Because when I was listening to Tupac, Biggie, Nas while I was growing up, it had an energy that made me want to get things done. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get things done. I wanted to get things straight. And that's the type of music I make, that I want sisters and brothers, but I especially the sisters, to be motivated by what they're listening to, because we're leading. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people don't like that phrase, the future is feminine. But hey, but we are the leaders right now. And
Absolutely.
We got to call brothers and sisters to bat, and we got to raise our kids and push them forward, and we got to unlearn the BS. So we are the leaders. We got to get sharp and have spaces like this where sisters can talk and cleanse.
Right.
You know? Safe spaces.
So I have a question for you. So I know your name is Dior Ashley Brown, but is Dior your real first name, or is that a stage name, or do you go by a stage name?
So Dior Ashley Brown is my birth given name. My father named me Dior. Yeah, my father named me Dior. He actually had an argument with my grandmother, his mother. What was going to be first, because she wanted to name me Ashley. And it's so funny when people call me Ashley, because I answer to it. It really does. But my first name is Dior, and so like I guess because I as my stage name, I like to be called Dior Ashley Brown. People will pick, you know, Ashley, Miss Brown, Dior, Dab, you know. But yeah, Dior is my and later on in life, I found out that it means of gold and of God. And it's a common name as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a beautiful name.
It is.
Your dad knew you were going to be talented from the very beginning.
You know, you need that whole thing.
Don't let him hear that. He'll get to bragging and say all day long, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's because they called you. When he heard LL Cool J say my name, he was like, oh my God, he sounds so wow, it's coming out of LL Cool J.
That's nice. So let me ask, you know, what are your feelings? Well, no, let me take it back. What are some of your idols in the rap industry, and who would you most identify with?
So yeah, my idols and people I most identify with the Queen Latifah.
Oh,
okay.
And it's interesting because I didn't figure that out till maybe a year ago. Not saying that I grew up on Nature of a Sister and listening to Fly Girl as a kid, right? My mother had the CD. I'm looking at the album cover and this goddess with the Nefertiti.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh. So, you know, definitely was inspired by her early on, but I would say I didn't know I was going to become a rapper. You know, I wanted to be Whitney Houston, and I wanted to act like fantastic. Like I didn't know I'd be a rapper. That is actually part of God's plan for me. But Queen Latifah, when I was listening to her album, you know, with that has I think it's called Black Rain, just another day on there. She had we have similar nuances from being inspired by jazz, the lyrical content being, you know, I'm sexy and, you know, I'm conscious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, also being about her community. And then she created a lot of programming and spaces for sisters of color on television. Yes. So I really feel like, you know, me and her probably most identify. I'd remiss to say Lauryn Hill, MC Lyte, Nasir Jones, Outkast, Andre 3000, Big Boy. I've definitely been influenced by South, like the South deep. Yeah. I love it. Okay. Well, where are you from?
Florida.
Okay, I got family in Tampa down there. A lot of them. I was talking to one of them today. Yeah, man, I love Florida. Crazy Florida.
Right.
Okay. But I've been inspired by a lot of Mobb Deep, Lil' Kim. You know what I really loved? I loved that when in the 90s and early 2000s, when Black women were, as far as hip hop, were flooding the scene, we had a little bit of everybody. So there was a balance. We had women, you know, owning their femininity and sexuality, and then we had women fighting for the cause and you know, touching it. So like, you know, it's different for me to live in this very narrow space where only one can thrive, or a certain type can thrive. When I had the spectrum of earthy and commercial,
right?
You know? So yeah, I've been inspired by some mostly I would say 90s, early 2000s, some of the 80s hip hop.
Okay.
So piggybacking off of that, because you already shared with us that Queen Latifah is most who you identify with. I heard you say earlier that you thought you were going to be a Whitney Houston. So do you also sing as well as rap?
Yeah.
So you have a voice.
Yeah. I need to give a lot more patience and time to it. Like when I was a kid, that's all I did. I was in singing in school choirs. I was in touring choirs when I was a kid. Of course, in the church choir. So it was later on in life that I got kind of intimidated by my voice, and I picked up hip hop. And so now when I do it, I feel more like I have a unique sound as far as vocally that is unique to maybe more commercial or what people are used to, but I found my own style. So I have songs where I spit and I sing.
Okay. Well, you go ahead.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
So what are your feelings on the state of hip hop genre right now? Just the state of hip hop.
That's a very good question. The only thing I don't like about the state, well, there's a few things, but one of the things I don't like about the state of hip hop right now is that it's being misgenred into rap, and hip hop has the pillars, graffiti, breakdance, the breakbeat, the DJ, the MC. And that has a level of consciousness, and it has a long history that comes from the Bronx and the South, whoever's fighting it, right? And so, it has a long history, and I don't want that to get confused with commercialism or, it does a lot of healing. It has art to it. Hip hop is art. So that's the only thing. Hip hop is not about, only about material things, about spitting about material things or not or the superficial. You know what I'm saying? It has levels. So I just don't want it to be misgenred. And that's really, as far as hip hop, there's a lot of young MCs who are receiving like the old school. You know what I'm saying? And so when people tell me like I sound old school, that is like, okay, because I want to sound as authentic as possible. Right. Is, and honestly, that is this hip hop was a space that gave that positive energy, inspiration, and influence. And so now, the rap is cool. I listen to rap, you know what I'm saying? I listen to trap even. I'm kind of wide open to listening and hearing the stories because I actually hear consciousness with some trap rappers, you know what I'm saying? Some people, I only can listen to so much because of vibration solo. I don't want it to kind of brainwash me. You feel me?
But so, you know what? I have to ask this. Because this is my opinion of, I don't know what it's called, hip hop, rap. I was going to ask you to like break down what the difference really is, but why does everything sound the same?
The same.
That is like an unsaid rule in hip hop. You want to sound individual. I can listen to the radio and it's little 5,000 of them. You know what I mean? LIL, and then there's a whole bunch of different littles, right? And so I'm like, I don't know who's who. When I go here, if I heard Ludacris or I heard Nas,
you know that individual,
and that individuality is important. But
exactly.
I think what's happening is, people are caught up in formulas. Like, it was kind of cool for people not to give out all the secrets about their fashion or their style, but it was a way to maintain our individuality too. Because I used to like, why we ain't sharing the information, but at the same time, some of it was to preserve our individuality in it. And I think we have to figure out that balance. Because I think what happens now is we're trying to, people get in that formula and it's like, let's just make this money right quick. And you can't them if they're in poor conditions and want to come out of it and they want to get the formula. So that's another reason why we have to reach back and give to our communities so that we can kind of get in there and be like, you need to come, you need to find who you are and appreciate it. And I think also when we don't know who we are, it's easy to get into those formulas, into superficial things, and represent those things because they're easier, they're tangible. If I know I get those Nikes, and in that, no offense to Nike, But I'm saying, I get those Nikes, I get that sweatshirt, and I get that tattoo, then now I'm squad. Now I'm lit. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you could just be you, be natural if you love who you are and own it. We'll all believe you.
But see, people are afraid to do that. It's a fear behind being yourself, because when you be yourself, you have to actually stand outside of the crowd.
Yeah.
And they don't really understand. You be yourself, you stand out more, and you will get more attention. But instead, they're conforming, like you said, to whatever. It's like people are asking for certain things and they're giving it to them instead of giving them what they need. You know.
Exactly.
So speaking on, because you mentioned earlier that the touring, or you traveling with your music and everything.
Yeah.
Due to Rona, the COVID. What about your output of music? Do you have anything coming out, or you plan on putting anything out now, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, actually, for a second, it was a shock. It was like, what in the hell? How am I gonna get this music out? What's gonna happen? And then it's like, oh, hold on. That was something we were already working on. We were working on people at studios. Granted, like for the quality that I have to put out, I might have to go to the studio, but when I go to the studio, it's me and another producer. It's not going to be a bunch of people in the room. We're going to do face masks. We're going to have Lysol, so we're going to do the thing, right? We're going to have the Lysol. So we got to be safe out here, right? And so, it's beginning now that people know the practices to kind of maintain being healthy around one another, that I think we're going to be able to execute it. And then I've been getting small blessings here and there to be able to build on how I'm going to produce the sound, so like building a team, people who are excited to be like, I have so much more time on my hands, I'll see those beats now, you know what I'm saying? Learning some of these apparatuses for myself, is a part of it. So it did halt for a second because everybody was in shock,
right?
But then, I just started throwing out some things to keep me entertained. And I started learning things along the way, and it started getting more fun. Like most recently, I did this global women's hip hop cipher. First time I had been on a show with a female MC from Senegal, Cameroon.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
that's dope.
The pandemic, and these are sisters. So the pandemic really is bringing the world to the front door. As long as you're out there for what you want to do,
Very good. I want to get your opinion on, since you just said that, I have a two-part question. So the second part is what's next in regard to your music. The first part to that is to piggyback off of what you just said in regards to the pandemic and what it's doing in regards to bringing like minds together. Yeah. So DJ Nice, I think that's what his name is.
Oh yeah, DJ Nice.
So DJ Nice. Yeah,
D Nice.
What he did to bring 100,000 people to view him live at the same time. Do you think that there's a shift taking place in music and we are appreciating how healing it can be and how it can lift us when we're in these down states and bring us together? Can it bridge the gap?
I think it definitely can bridge the gap. What's awesome about DJ Nice is he just jumped out there and did it. And it was just in time while people were mourning, while they were trying to figure out things. And he brought them, some bedtime stories, some memories, some, what I'm saying? He helped people relax and breathe and meditate. And it was just in time. He didn't think about it. He had fun. He said, let me just try this thing. And it became healing. To speak to the shift, right? Yes. I am so glad you said shift, because that's where I'm talking about, is that we need to be in the space where people value art now, right? I get on I have the DC Music Summit, right? It's a day-long summit, and I just had my third one in February. It had about 300 people. It was at Eaton Hotel. And the goal of that is to help artists thrive, indie artists, or if you want to be a side artist, get the education and materials you need to find other engines, as well as knowing how to negotiate for yourself, etc. A plethora of factors, from talking to lawyers to people who do film, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so here I want people to value themselves so that people will know how valuable we are to the world. We don't have to keep on the same space of devaluing our art. Like, yes, I'll play for nothing in your $100 million building. No, you need to count up the spaces. Like, no, you want my art and talent in the space. You want me to bring the lights, because studio equipment, recording is so expensive.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get samples cleared for projects and things, and these people want to charge me so much per song, where I'm like, do you know I am a creative? I mean, like, that is such a hard school. I'm like, you know, so this is what I do, but it is not an easy road. The level of rejection you have to, I mean, I've negotiated the moment sometimes that I ask or that I put that this is the cost for me. Some people don't even negotiate. Like, how dare she ask for money? Almost like they don't even want to respond. I've had people not respond to me, anything. Like, how dare she see her value in that? Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I put enough work in here. I invested in the craft, but you need it as a catharsis. So yes, you are absolutely right. It is a shift in value, but artists need to value who they are in this shift, so that we're not putting the same place, you know? So yes, absolutely. And yes, what DJ Nice is doing is amazing. I'm glad he put up the Cash App, and I'm glad he attached himself to national causes like voting. So that is value. The only thing I don't like is this online transferring to digital, like as far as, you know, digitizing and monetizing music. So DJs cannot play straight up the songs or 2 minutes or something like that. They get dropped, they get copyright. Terrible, because this is the one universal language that brings everyone together.
That, and you know what I love? He had almost every artist on his page.
It's amazing.
People were honored, and he was shocked at how many celebrities, from Mariah Carey to just, I mean, Ludacris. Everybody was
many. It was so many. And
so you already knew for that.
Imagine if we didn't have that.
I know.
Right.
During this time, I love clicking the 5 on 4 different DJs on live, because what he did, sent a message. Yeah,
but what I also really love, and I love about seeing all the DJs now, these damn millennials getting to hear real music.
Yes.
I'm just letting you know. I just thought to myself, hey, it took me back to real music that didn't sound. It didn't sound all the same. And so you got these young kids that are tuning in, and they're thinking, oh, this is new.
It's old. And they're actually researching. They're looking for it. They're listening to it. You know, it's really cool. And it helps bring that shift back. It helps to, like you said, bring those frequencies up, because they're listening to what we listen to. And it's really cool. It's really dope.
And also when they have so you know they had the Erykah Badu and the Jill Scott, like all of the people that are going against each other, their sales went up 300% after that night.
Of course it did.
So,
amen.
We're talking about exposing like the baby faces and the 112s and all of these old, not old as an age, but old style of music that you don't hear now. So the younger generation can appreciate, like, oh, this is good. Like, we don't hear it, because all we hear is the other stuff.
It's not that. It's not all these babies and what is that? I can't even, all these littles and all these little people. I have no idea who half of these people are. They're seen on TV, and I'm like, so who is that now? Who is that? And everybody come on the radio sound the same, and I'm like, well, who is that now? Everybody has the same beat. Everybody want to do that. What's that auto tune?
Mumble rap.
I wanted to say, like, you know, it has been, people don't think that African Americans have tradition, but we've had the tradition of initiating our youth. You know, I was initiated. So, and when I mean initiated, like I had to know the old folks in order to be able to know what I was listening to or what I was doing. You don't know nothing about that. I was like, well, hold on, let me go learn about the OJ.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So I could sit down in this conversation. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Right.
And,
Right.
and that's, I don't know, somewhere in there it stopped, or the message wasn't getting through that this is something you need to know as a rite of passage. And I think
so here's the problem.
Yeah.
The parents have gotten younger and younger.
Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, call it what it is.
I have my daughter, she'll be 14 this year. And so on her playlist, because we share iTunes, right? So, she can have access to mine. And so
Yeah.
I'll be playing something and she'll start singing it. And they're like, what do you know about this? She was like, when she was younger, she'd be like, oh my gosh, Mom, this is all you listen to. But now it's kind of like she'll be in her room.
Yeah.
She's playing it. I'm like,
that's what my daughters do. They do the same exact thing.
Mhm.
They were like, "Mommy, why you listen to that old lady music, that old man music?" But they do the same thing. Let me cut it on. They start singing it.
Yep.
I think we need to reclaim our time and also and stop putting, there should be age in terms of, protecting our youth and protecting our elders, of course, but like age should not affect your growth and your influence.
Yeah.
Like, what I really appreciate about Ethiopian culture is that if an Ethiopian mother gets up and sing, and that's the talent, all appreciate in the room. They know the lyrics, the songs, and they support that ancestor, that elder. And I think that is something that we have to do. Like Mary J. Blige, she mentioned at one time where she goes around the world, she just forgets how old she is until she comes to America, and we age her and slow that process. And I think, we have to get out of that mindset so that we can further our creativity and because we're all so youthful, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we have kids who are younger, or parents, and blah, blah, blah. We have to bring it back. We have to bring it back. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So what's next for you?
So I have some gigs coming up. Believe it or not, like I've been doing live streams. I had one of my first live streams for a nonprofit that helps make sure they help to get funding for movements. So they had me, and I performed for the office, and it was on live. It was a live stream show, and I had to get equipment for that. And so I have some bookings coming up that I'm excited about. And then I'm working on music. So the music that's coming out is going to be, some of it's going to be party and some of it's going to be conscious. And I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to separate these two albums and just drop some singles for fun. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only process happening right now. Right now, there's an engineer in the studio mixing one single that I'm thinking about dropping, but I have to figure out the visual, and it's a beautiful challenge. It's like, oh wow, I can't have 50 people in the video,
Right.
but I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pull it off. So that's exciting. It's exciting.
Good. Yay.
Okay, well, Dior, tell everybody how they can find you.
Wait, before you say that, can I ask
Okay.
a question really quick?
Oh, please.
I have to know, what was the experience like with you and Fat Joe?
Oh, she had a lot of
I have to know first of all, how did that happen? And
Okay.
what went through your mind during that time?
So, it was Easy Street was on, like, going on live a lot, and he always shows me love. I've talked to his classes, E Street from WHUR, and he was like, would any artist be down to go on my live and perform tonight? I said, I would. He was like, Dior Ashely Brown, you down? He was like, okay, cool. We go tonight. Boom. I was like, okay. So we performed in the living room, and I was like, I was giving it to the audience, and I was so excited. I remember I was just like so happy, right? And I never really went on live like that. I would just post something on Instagram, go on the stories, say a little hello, promote. I never went on live like that. I went to go on Sway's Universe Live because he has a lot of rappers come on. So I went on his live trying to get on his. And then I just accidentally hit on Fat Joe's. And then I said, you know what? I hit request, and he had me on. I'm in the bed like, yeah! I still can't believe it to this day. And that man had me on 3 times, and he swear that he wasn't being intentional. You know what I'm saying? But 3 times I was on his live, he picked me on, and every time I just had fun with him, and he was just so cool and down to earth. And I like that he's doing that for the people, keeping their spirits up, saying, "Stay out, you know, get away, don't be around the old folks too much, you know, be out in the streets, you know." And so I really respected that, and he was just cool. And honestly, since him, there's been a plethora of others that I'm just like, I still, you know, they've been keeping my momentum up, you know. It's like, you know what, there, you know, I have to, if something this awesome can happen during quarantine, it's a plan of God, and I got to keep on his mission, and I'm just going to keep falling into it, having fun.
It was his appointed time.
Amen.
And it was meant to happen.
But it was also an act of boldness. And that's what you need to do. Sometimes that act of boldness of stepping out and just saying, what's the worst that can happen?
Wow.
Exactly. Yes or no. You only can get a yes or no.
He's either going to say he's going to put me through, or he's going to ignore it. And the fact that he just accepted it, and look at where you're at now, I commend that act of boldness that you took. And I can imagine how excited that you must have been during that.
Unbelievable. I mean, so bad that I woke up with my neck hurt because I think I get a whiplash. I was with my roommate jumping up and down, like, oh my God. He was like, oh my God. Like, cause it was just the most uncanny time. Like, once I did it the first time, the second time when I was like requesting, my roommate was like, "Are you going to get online with Fat Joe?" I was like, "I don't know." I lied to you. After that minute, he was bringing me on live. I was like, oh my God. Is that phrase "act of boldness" in your book?
No, it's not. But I need to write that down.
That really touched me and says a lot to how I feel with that. And please.
Actually, I'll put that in. I'm writing another book, and I have to put that in there.
Yeah. I appreciate that statement.
What's going on here? Writing books and helping with music.
I know, but you know what? I am legitimately writing a book, and it has different levels of affirmation in it.
Okay.
And that's one of the things. So to me, I think that act of boldness, I didn't even think about that. I probably have something similar, but that is such, when I thought of you, that's what I thought of. I'm like, wow, I don't even think we ever really think to act so in such a manner. And something as simple as just stepping out of our comfort zone and being bold. The doors that can open for us.
Right.
Yeah. Fearless.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Oh man. I was nervous the whole time, but I was like, what could I lose? I'm going to keep having fun. And it shows me it's like a leap of faith is one of my favorite phases. Just taking that leap of faith. And I mean, because I see that every time I take a step, no cliche, no broken record. When I take a step, he takes 2. No, go after it. I just want to know, is Cortina, is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Okay, a pleasure indeed. A pleasure. Yes.
It means curtains in Spanish. So
okay.
If somebody messes with me, I say it's curtains for you. Like
okay.
And guess what? My father also named me. So and he was well, I can't say he was in the military because once a Marine, always a Marine. So he's a Marine, and he just like, I can't say it like you said. You can't say it with your dad. Like, don't tell him that; it'll gas his head up or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my dad.
Okay. That is curtain. Okay.
That's cool.
Oh, man. This is a very good podcast. Thank you. Herspiration. I like that.
And also, where can our listeners stream some of your stuff? Where can they get some of your music from? Well,
I have her website going here. Yeah. It's been going for a while, so you can see the DiorAshelyBrown.com. So I have been letting that go on the screen.
I wasn't sure if it was on iTunes or if it was someplace else on Spotify.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I have music on all platforms. And if you please would join my YouTube at Ms. Dab is Bad, MIZZDABISBAD. And that's just my initial spell backwards. Ms. Dab is Bad. And I have a whole bunch of things on there, some interviews. I've been doing this for quite a while, just, going on YouTube and putting up performances, and music is on there. So yes, please, if you don't do anything, please visit my YouTube. And I jumped on Kedron Bryant's song, I'm a Young Black Man, I Just Want to Live. And I posted that as of recently because he's just full of courage and strength. And I don't want to let our youth down. They always inspire me, and I want to be there for them. And I remember what it was to be that conscious of the world his age, and I want to show up for young people like that for sure. Yeah. I appreciate you all. This is so healing.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
Where can people connect with you and find you other than YouTube? I mean, on your social media?
Oh, yes. So at Dior Ashley Brown on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm always on those. I'm going off and retweeting and so please. Dior Ashley
not playing
Brown.
with
Yep.
I got to get like that someday. Although I do pretty much a lot of social media, but that's a lot of work. So much work.
It's a lot of work, and don't worry,
So
you getting it. Don't worry, because sometimes people are, they just need to take that one step, And so that's this inspiration that you've moved on this to have this platform and have these ladies on. This is awesome.
Yes, and
follower. I'm following you.
Yeah, this is, and so I'm really excited to have you on, because as of November, this was my baby for a long time. Herspiration Happy Hour. It'll be 3 years old in November, and so I just took it through this big transformation, and having Louisa and Cortina on now has been a huge inspiration for me, and I'm really going hard at it now with being more intentional about who we have on and the transparency of this platform. And I wanted to stand for something. I wanted to mean for something. And it is meant to, to be bold, to inspire, to motivate, to elevate. I want people to be educated by listening to our platform, but then also let's have some fun with it. So it is really, truly an honor to have you on. From the moment I met you, you've just always been a really huge ray of just a ball of fire of the things that you're doing. And so I just hope you keep that up. And we really appreciate it. We're going to have you back on again. Don't forget about us.
I'm ready.
Don't forget about us small people, as
when I finish this project, I want to reach out to Louisa or you, Pamela, right away, and let you all know that the project is, or at least a single is out, so that way I can come and talk about it and get it out.
Good. Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully the quarantine is over, and at some point, we do plan on having a real, true visual. But quarantine and stuff has to be gone away. But we're gonna definitely have to make sure and fit some time in with you, either on this platform when your project is finished, and then it's at some point we still would love to have you, in a studio with us, just having some fun and having some.
Yes, I want to try that cocktail that Louisa was talking about. I made it tonight.
But thank you so much for joining us. It has been a true pleasure.
Yes.
And y'all,
I appreciate you.
Connect with her. Y'all check out, subscribe. Subscribe even to her website, because I know you have a subscriction button.
Absolutely.
And I saw that, and I got all sidetracked today when my phone rang, but I have it up on my computer so that I can subscribe. But I was on there listening to some of the content that you have on there. That's how I know you have some music on there. So I want people to know you all check her out. When you have someone who is conscious and intentional and bold, y'all gonna see her go places. Don't wait till she get big before you know her, and then act like you know her.
Right.
And this
better know now.
Better know it now. So you have yourself a great evening, and until we can touch bases again, stay blessed, and in the light.
God is good. I appreciate you all.
All
Good
right.
night. Good night.
Bye-bye. Ladies, oh my gosh. I love her energy.
I was just about to say that. I absolutely love her energy. You know, it
That
just
is
brings
my girl. She just
positive light. That's what it brings. And you know, it's so funny because the whole time that we were talking, I was doing flashbacks in my mind of like real conscious hip hop, like she
yeah,
was saying, it's right now it's getting all jumbled
yeah,
into one genre
Yeah.
when it's really its own
yes.
genre of music. And so that really resonated with me. And I think that's probably one of the highlights I'm going to take from the interview that we had with her.
You know what I learned from this? I'm not as bold as I should be.
Oh,
And I think right now the only thing in my mind is wanting to take the steps that I feel like been holding me back.
Mm.
that's
That
so
sounds like a
funny.
breakthrough.
It does. I've been in, I've shared with you all, I've been in this weird, funky space where I've not been as creative. And I think a lot of it was because of the quarantine and just trying to adjust to this new normal.
Yeah, it's a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah. But right now I feel motivated. I feel encouraged, and I'm ready to just, I'm ready to write. And I haven't felt like that in a while. So I'm like, oh, this weekend I'm going to be writing.
It's so funny when you say motivated. I got a call like right 10 minutes before we started taping that one of my old patients passed away of an overdose. And so, what I've been dealing with and everything, my mood has already been low. And I just was kind of like, I haven't even had the opportunity to process it, but it did make me feel good. And I will say after this interview, I do feel a little bit better, which is weird. So, everything happens for a reason, but the whole motivation piece and being intentional and being bold, because life is short.
Yes.
And you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So you have to do everything today to make sure that you are living in your purpose. You are standing in your purpose. And that is what your focus is. So
yes.
I am just so excited that you all got the match under your booties that you needed. and me too, because I've been kind of moping, not realizing I have, and it's like I feel weird. I just feel off. And it's a lot of things going on, but I just, out in the world and everything, and it's just, I feel off. But today I was talking to myself, like, look, we got to get it together. My mom and I, we went and we took a walk, and we walked around. We did a lot, and that did something for me, being out in nature and listening to the birds and feeling the breeze and smelling everything. And it is time. It really is time.
Yeah.
And
oh, I don't know, just that quick, something happened to her.
Yeah. She said it was that time.
I know. She's back. Wow. Hey. It's okay. Look, you said it's time, and you just like time.
Look, hey, my point was made, okay? The point was made. It is time.
She dropped the mic.
I did. That's what happened. That's what happened. Or my phone did. So
your phone said it had enough. It was feeling motivated, like look, that was the fire under your booty. Like, it's time to get out that funk.
Yes.
So you know what, Miss Louisa, Radio Red, where can our listeners connect with you at?
You can connect with me on Facebook at Louisa Harrell and the Blue Phoenix, and on Instagram, the Blue Phoenix Hills. Miss Cortina.
Well, you know where you can find me. The Girlfriend Therapist on all platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on TikTok. TikTok's emotional expert. So that one won't let me say therapist, so I have to use that.
Yeah. And this is your girl, Dr. G, the unapologetic diva. And you can reach me at, I am Dr. P Gurley, IAMDRP GURLEY, on all of the platforms, pretty much everything. And for Herspiration Happy Hour, we are now on Twitter at Herspiration. Herspiration HH, because Herspiration Happy Hour is a little bit too long, so I had to make it Herspiration HH for Happy Hour. We're also on Instagram and Facebook at Herspiration Happy Hour. And so we are always just in so motivated after
Yeah.
these podcasts that, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, the coming weekend, just I'm filled, you know, that that I'm ready to write and just I stay in this euphoric mode for a little while.
But see, this is why we do this. This is what the purpose of Herspiration Happy Hour, to motivate, to encourage, to uplift, and to bring. So you just got a little sprinkle of your own medicine.
Little sprinkle.
Little sprinkle.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you know what? We are going to chill out now and just relax our minds and probably get to work, because that's what I feel like I'm getting ready to do.
That's true.
And you know what? But it's okay, because until the next time, cheers!
Cheers!